Hey everybody, welcome to Ask Glenn Anything. Hey Glenn, how are you today?
Awesome. Loving the new video, man. Nice job.
Thanks, dude. That was the 12th video I made today.
Well,
But I'm glad you like it.
yeah.
It was bothering me. It was bothering me that there wasn't an opening video, and I was waiting. I was going to do one for you being at home and not in the Dominican Republic, and which is going to be your new home. And then time ran out on that, and now you're heading back to the DR soon.
Si, senor.
When are you roughly? When are you heading out? When are you leaving us for good?
First week in December.
All right.
So a couple weeks. All they're gonna see from me is ass and elbows.
Nice. All right. Well, if you have a question of life coach Glenn Ambrose, type it in the comments and Glenn will answer it live. If you do not feel comfortable asking publicly, email glenn@glennambrose.com and Glenn will answer your question next week, unless we get a notification, in which case I will maybe I'll ask it today. So
You never know. It's random. It's amazing. You never know what's gonna happen here.
You never know.
One thing I would like to share with the audience is chai tea is with agave is really good.
I agree with that.
All right.
I love chai.
Hey, Faye.
I love chai tea. I have oh man, so the last thing in your in the new video is you, what is that, parasail? No, it's gliding.
Hang gliding.
You hang gliding. Hi Faith. For those of you who aren't watching the video, check out the video on Facebook and YouTube because Faith is adorable. So the last thing is you hang gliding, and I wanted to. The video is like a minute and a half long, but Faith runs up to you at the end. Or is it another dog that looks like Faith?
Yeah, it's another dog.
Oh, well, yeah. It looked close enough to Faith that nobody would know.
Because I was like, wait a minute, Faith wasn't with me when I went hang gliding.
We have a question from friend of the show, Kate Kennedy. Can you talk about acceptance? How to strengthen that? She also says, before we get to that, she said mint chai, new holiday chai at Ink coffee shops.
There we go.
I'll try mint chai. I love chai tea with I like it with almond milk. All right.
So acceptance.
Can you talk about acceptance? How to strengthen that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's about using your mind, the tool that we keep putting aside because it gets in the way of everything. Well, and stuff like this, really, it's about being realistic. Spirituality is always like woo-woo, so people think, and it's not woo-woo at all. It's very logical and it makes perfect sense. And anything other than spirituality doesn't make sense. And I think acceptance is a good example of that, because why should we accept things? Like, why? I mean, what's the why? I mean, if there is no why, then it doesn't make sense and you shouldn't do it. That's something that I like about Buddhism is they don't, Buddha always said, don't believe anything that I say. Try it, experiment it, use it. If it doesn't work, ignore me. Like, so we should bring our minds in and say, okay, because other than that, like if we just go, because the question was strength and acceptance.
Mm-hmm.
You don't technically have to strengthen acceptance. You either accept or you don't. So I'm reading into the question and it's like, okay, well, it sounds like they're having trouble fully accepting, which is another way to phrase the question. So if you're having trouble fully accepting, then that just means most of the time what that is you don't have clarity in a logical, makes sense kind of way. Because what happens is we go, like let's say one of our friends upsets us and we get mad and we realize that we're mad and we go, hey, I shouldn't take it personally. It's probably just their stuff. I should just accept it and move on. And that's a nice thought. But if that's all you do, there's a good chance that either that or many things that you do that little exercise with, you will not accept because you didn't get to the root of why it bothered you in the first place. And until you change that, subconsciously, what actually is running you is going to be like, that sucked. That was a load of crap. They shouldn't have done that. They shouldn't have done that. They shouldn't have done that. And it's not on a conscious level sometimes. So we're not even aware that it's going on. We're like, and what we actually did is we just stuffed it and pushed it aside and we're ignoring it. So, it's about slowing down and really looking at the particular situation. So you go, oh, I shouldn't take it personally. Well, why shouldn't I take it personally? Because they said this, and that's not even actually true. I know it's not true. I'm pretty sure they probably know it's not true. So it sounds like they're coming out of anger and just lashing out because they were feeling insecure at the particular moment. Oh, all right. So why shouldn't I take the fact that somebody was lashing out at me personally? Well, I shouldn't take it personally because it has nothing to do with me and I can't give away my power. And, you have to keep asking yourself the deeper question, a deeper question, a deeper question. And then you can get at your belief system that is labeling what they did as bad. And when you get really good clarity on it, like what I do is when I get clarity on like, okay, the deepest thing is that like somewhere when I was younger, I thought that like if people said something to me, then it must be true. And I know that that's not the case anymore. I was just a child in a weird world trying to learn society's rules. And that's what everybody told me. And that was impressed upon me. So I believed it at the time, which is completely normal. But now I understand that that's not true. And people don't have power over me. And then I sit there. Once I get that clarity, I'll just sit there and go, okay, so do I fully understand that people don't have power over me? And usually my mind goes, yeah, great job, Glenn, move on. Yeah, no. Especially when your mind answers quick, that just means it's trying to push you aside. It needs to be slow and calm. So I'll ask myself that question a few times, slower, deeper, hold myself into the space, feeling for uncomfortability to bubble up, looking for it. When I say that line, where's the uncomfortability that usually follows? And then after I say it a few times and I let that uncomfortability bubble up and release, sometimes I have to sometimes say, but that's not really true comes up. And then I have to deal with that, but if no excuse comes up or something, then it's just like, I just keep saying it over and over until I can feel it and sit in a resonance of my new truth and feel no discomfort for like 60 seconds straight. So if you just hold yourself there long enough, that uncomfortability will bubble up. That part that doesn't really believe what you're saying. So if you do that exercise with the things that are bothering you, that's how you can actually shift the reason that you labeled that thing as bad, and then create a new reality, and then you can fully accept it. because your subconscious isn't going, yeah, that's a load of crap.
Yeah, that makes sense. Kate says, so examine the trigger, ...
Yeah, examine the trigger, and not only examine the trigger, but replacement technique. Replace the old belief system with the new belief system. And this is my new belief system. Do I actually believe this? No. Well, why? Well, because of this. Now, okay. So then you have to tweak those little understandings, and you can go back to the situation and be like, okay, can I fully accept this? No. Okay. So, and then you just got to keep going. I mean, some things it's hard, especially if it's something very deep. Like right now, everybody's so polarized with everything. We've pretty much adopted a belief system about a lot of things by now because, the pandemic, the politics, the Black Lives Matter, all this stuff has been all encompassing and in our face so much for so long now. People have pretty much anchored into a mental stance that they're taking on it. And, so once you land into a mental stance that you're comfortable with, acceptance is hard because you locked into a belief system. So sometimes it's hard to navigate that. When we lock onto something, this is nothing new. This is what a lot of religions did. This is like religion said, thank God we're getting out of this, but religion said my way is the right way. So anybody that thinks different, isn't technically a person. They're an infidel and I can kill them, even though God said I can't kill, but they're not technically people because they're non-believers. So I can kill non-believers, which is ridiculous. But that actually sounds acceptable to a mind that is locked into a belief system. That's what happens when we lock in. We lock in, and anything that goes against that is like unacceptable to very large degrees. So since a lot of our belief systems have been locked into place, especially as of late, most people have picked a side or two. You might have to talk this out, some of these things, if they're big issues, especially, or if they're a core issue from your childhood and you just can't see it any differently than the way you're seeing it. So sometimes you need help to talk through things and to see another way, because, this is Einstein's quote, you can't solve a problem with the consciousness that created it. I mean, sometimes you can't. Sometimes it's really hard. You only have your perspective to come from, and you're going like, I can't figure out how this is okay. I can't figure out how to make peace with this. That way, then you can, get some guidance and stuff.
Yeah. Thank you, Kate.
Thank you, Kate.
Here's a question. What do you do to enhance your spiritual self?
Everything. Everything I can think of. Yeah, I mean, know what it is? I think it's seek and ye shall find. That's really what I've been doing a lot of in the last year. As soon as this pandemic hit, I was like, whoa, what do I do? From a spiritual perspective, what do I do? And it's like, okay, manage the fear and go within. So I did, and when I went within, I started finding answers that were within myself. And then when I found the answers were within myself, I started following those answers. And they led me to international travel and connecting with a community over there. And okay, cool. Then when I got over there, I'm asking the same question. What do I do? I want to go deeper spiritually. What do I need to do? So, and then all of a sudden, all these opportunities to do ceremonies and stuff over there came up. So I did the ceremonies over there. Then I came back here. What can I do to get deeper spiritually? And then, sometimes I've just gone within and found things I needed to deal with. Sometimes shadow work kept coming across my consciousness. So I started looking into shadow work. I mean, I've done shadow work, but I kind of did it my way, kind of like I did basically most of my spiritual growth. It just kind of all happened organically for me. So that's how I did a lot of my work. So this time I'm like, I think I want to do more of like a textbook shadow work type thing. Maybe to clear out the cobwebs in a corner or something. So I looked into that and I found this awesome video that recommended that really gave me a different understanding of shadow work. So I gained some clarity. And then it also had some guided meditations. Why? Because I was seeking, so this actually might be helpful. You know how we're always talking about getting addicted to information?
Yep.
This is how I don't. So I go, I don't know. I think I'm supposed to look into shadow work. Oh, okay. So I look into shadow work and I follow shadow work until I find the work, not the understanding of it. It's called shadow work. So I went and I was like, oh, what's the understanding? Oh, that's the understanding. Okay, how do I take that understanding and implement it into my spiritual life? Well, I do the work. They're recommending here these guided meditations specifically on healing your inner child and healing your heart chakra and personal power and stuff like this. So it's like, oh, okay. So I, as soon as I listened to that and I'm like, yes, I think that could help me, I went and did those. And it all happened within a 2-day period. It wasn't like I'm going to get 13 books on freaking shadow work and then interview teachers to see which one clicks with me the right way and subscribe to 14 podcasts and do the work. If there's a and I mean, I was sitting on my couch bawling my eyes out. Good. That's work. That does something, so go do the work, dive in, do the things that release the stuff that you're carrying around. I'm always looking for action. I don't want to understand stuff. I could care less about understanding stuff. Sometimes it's helpful. So I'll watch one 30-minute video on it. And if they don't say what I want to hear, I don't even usually make it to the 30 minutes. I give them about 5 minutes to capture my interest. And if they're not giving me anything that I can sink my teeth into, next, because it's a waste of time. A lot of people on the spiritual path know way, way, way more than they need to know. It's about doing it and diving in and releasing the actual emotion that's attached and creating new understandings and making them your own. That's what we've been talking about all tonight is, taking the spiritual philosophies and implementing them into your psyche, not into your brain, into your psyche, and making them part of you. And how do we embody these teachings and live these teachings? That's where the real progress comes. So, so it was that. And I'm still seeking, and I was in that seeking mode. So Krishna Das, I watched a show on Krishna Das a little while ago, and I just love the guy, man. I love his vibe. Because he doesn't consider himself a spiritual teacher. He's a singer, so but he's walked his own path. So when he says stuff, it really is helpful. So I followed that. It's like, oh, okay. And I got some stuff out of that about, yes, we do have to do all that work, but let's just be peaceful while we're not doing that work. Be peaceful where we are. So yeah, I seek. And then when I get an answer, I take that answer and bring it into my life and live it, and you can only do a couple of those things at a pop. You know?
Is it good to meditate before going to sleep?
Yeah, it's good to meditate anytime. You can meditate while drinking chai tea. You can meditate when you wake up, when you're sitting on the toilet, when you're petting your dog, when you're going to sleep.
Are these all the times you meditate?
I don't think I do it when I'm sitting on the toilet. I just thought that'd be funny to say. But maybe I do. I don't know. Yeah, you can meditate anytime. I mean, before bed is good, just because one, you're more likely to fall asleep, because you're quieting your mind instead of allowing it to race. So that's good. And two, you're more likely to get a restful sleep. So yeah, I mean, it is good. I personally, if I had to choose though, I would prefer to meditate first thing in the morning, as opposed to if I was going to pick one or the other, I would rather do in the morning. I usually do both. I usually do in first thing in the morning and at least a little bit at night. But my morning is indispensable and I have to do it and I need to. At night is not so structured. So, but in the morning, it sets your day off, in a right tone. Like, there was times in my life very difficult times in my life where I would wake up. This was towards the end of my marriage. I would wake up and I would be so stressed out in my sleep that as I was coming into consciousness, before my eyes were even open, the stress would shoot right down into my stomach and would make me nauseous. And I would literally have to, as I was opening my eyes, before I even opened my eyes, I was like, oh crap, I have to get to the bathroom. I'm going to throw up. So, so I wasn't even fully awake yet. And I was under so much stress that I was like literally jumping out of bed as my eyes opened for the first time, bumping into walls, running into the bathroom and throwing up. That's not a good way to start your day.
Yeah.
That's not good. That's not good.
Definitely not.
And it was just all bile. It was disgusting. Oh. So yeah, I think in the morning is very important, but at night certainly does have its benefits. And at the end of the day, just do what works. Just try it. I recommend doing both, but even if it's 5 minutes. I mean, like, what are you doing when you go to sleep where you can't meditate? Like before you go to sleep, like what situation? It is TMI, Kate.
Yes, I agree.
How could you lay down in your bed and say, well, I could meditate, or maybe I won't meditate. I'm going to choose not to because it's inconvenient or something. Like, I mean, what's the reasoning why you wouldn't? You're literally laying there trying to fall asleep. Like that's kind of the definition of meditation almost. Just by laying down and trying to fall asleep, you kind of already are meditating. Like, that is a meditation, trying to go to sleep,
Yeah.
So I think in one way, shape, or form, we're doing it whether we think we are or not.
Kate says pay bills. I'm not sure what she means by that.
I don't know. You're going to have to expand on that one, Kate.
Do you have any good movies or documentaries about spiritual awakening?
Yeah, man. The Sixth Sun. The Sixth Sun, as in solar sun, not my son, Mateo. The Sixth Sun right now is phenomenal, and you can stream it for free. And it's a movie with an 8-part documentary series, and they only stream it for like 24, 48 hours, like each one in succession. But whatever, who cares? I mean, I enjoyed them so much. I watched them for 9 days straight. I watched a movie and I watched all 8 parts. I finished the last one I watched the last one last night.
Suzanne
Suzanne.
O'Brien says it's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a phenomenal series. So it's like, so I watched, and I don't do programs. I don't like, even I've signed up for a couple programs in the last 5 years, and I don't think I've finished one. Like, I just don't, I, I don't know. It's just how I take in information, and I'm not going to get into it. But these documentaries I really enjoyed because not only does it really explain a lot of what's going on, but they're very hopeful documentaries. And I think that that's something that a lot of us are missing, including myself. It's a frustrating world to live in. So, like, if you're unconscious and you're living in society right now, it's very frustrating for obvious reasons. If you are conscious living in this society right now, it's very frustrating for obvious reasons. Because you're sitting there, you know what we can be doing, you know what the truth is, and you're looking around and all you see is a complete mess, and it's frustrating. So, and God knows I felt my own levels of frustration because of that. And this is something that, so I've been looking for solution. I've been looking for documentaries more and more, and I'm finding them, and I'm finding information about people all over the planet that are doing incredibly good work. I'm finding out that we don't have to create a whole new grid and a whole new way of being in order to change from all the dysfunction that we're in. It already exists. There already is a grid that is hosting our new way of living. There are already people living in sustainable ways. It's all over the place. We have the technology now, we have the solutions, and people are actually living it. So what we need to do is start living it. And that's one of the reasons why, not that everybody has to move, but it's one of the reasons why I'm moving to the DR, because I see an opportunity for me to live some of this stuff more. And that's just one reason. I'm moving over there for community and a lot of other reasons, but like, part of it is because I see opportunities to live like this, a sustainable existence personally, just me, and then maybe help others too. And I'm watching that documentary and I'm seeing all these people doing all these wonderful things. And when you watch the teachers that were interviewed on these documentaries, if you tune into their energy, they don't have fear. They don't have frustration because they're immersed in the solution. They're not sitting there going, oh my God, this one's going to be president, and I don't know what's going to happen if we do that. We better go over here and try to pass this law over here because I don't know. And we have to be the source for good to counteract the bad. There's no energy like that. They're sitting there just going, yeah, like we just do this. Look, we're doing it. It's right here. It's awesome. There's lots of us doing it. It's okay. We're doing it. You want to come do it too? Let's do it. And it's just very hopeful and innocent. And yes, so it's about adopting a new way of life and leaning into it. And it's, like I said, it's all around us. There's eco villages all over the planet and all kinds of other things too. So yeah, I highly recommend that documentary series. And then I'm going to throw out a couple others too. There's Uplift TV, uplift.tv. Which is a streaming site, and it's free, and there's lots of really good documentaries on there. Down to Earth is an excellent one, which it's not just because that's the name of my book. It's but it's a really good documentary. And The 12 is another really good documentary, So, and there's others too, but those just off the top of my head. So yeah, and then I've got my favorites. Spiritual Liberation is a wonderful movie with Michael Bernard Beckwith, and The Shack is phenomenal movie. Bring your tissues. I've watched it probably 15 times, and I've cried every one. The Celestine Prophecy has a movie out there. The book's way better, which is usually the case, but But that's a pretty decent movie. The Peaceful Warrior is a good movie with Nick Nolte. Yeah, there's lots of good films out there, especially nowadays. And then go check out Gaia TV. I mean, What the Bleep Do We Know? There's a couple of those movies. Those are good. Yeah, there's Gaia TV Gaia TV has like a free trial usually, so you can sign up and just check out the movies on there. And they have series on there. They have all kinds of stuff on there. So yeah, I think that's my recommendations. The Sixth Sun documentaries that's streaming for free right now. Uplift.tv, Gaia TV, and then a few other random movies I mentioned.
How you doing on that chai?
It's almost done. I got one more swig, and I'm guessing this one's going to be filled with that agave. All right, let's see what happens.
All right, let's do it. This is great audio for the podcast version.
Oh, I have 2 sips.
All right.
No, it wasn't bad. I guess I mixed it enough. Oh, there's a little bite at the end, though.
There you go. There you go. All right. You know what? We can't talk about brands right now, so I'll ask you off air what kind of chai it is. Later. Yeah. So later I'll do that later. If you guys want to learn more about any of this stuff, listen to all of the other episodes. They are wherever you're listening or watching to this. They're all there.
At a theater near you.
At a theater near you. Sorry for the dumb question, says Peggy Johnson. No dumb questions. What is on Glenn's finger? Glenn, you broke your finger, didn't you?
No, I did not break it. I don't know. I may have broken it when I got this thing. I don't remember. I just had it laying around the house from some injury. I just strained it in the DR months ago, and it just wasn't really getting better. So I put something on it, and then I got annoyed, so took it off like a few weeks ago. And then it's gotten a little swollen and stuff. So I was like, maybe I should take care of it a little bit. So I just stuck this thing on there to keep it steady so I don't move it. So it's just strained or something. I don't know.
Here's my question. When did you start calling it the DR, and are you ever going to stop?
As opposed to like saying the Dominican Republic?
Yeah, or the Dominican, or, you just, it was as soon as you didn't, I don't think you said DR once until you got over there. And then you exclusively refer to it as the DR now.
Yeah, but that's just simply because of ease. And I think that's probably the reason that most people do it. I mean, if as soon as it became part of my life, I had to, when you leave the country, you have to constantly tell people what you're talking about, because they don't know that you're talking about another country, So I have referred to the DR about 350,000 times over the last 3 months. And if I needed to say the words Dominican Republic every time, I think I'd shoot myself. So that's why.
Kate says, thank you guys. You rock. Hope your Thanksgiving is calm and joyful. That's a good point. Glenn, are we live next Thursday or no?
Oh yeah, for Thanksgiving. No, I gotta go spend Thanksgiving with my parents and my son. So, yeah, I'm not gonna do a show then.
All right. Well, guys, we hope that you have a happy.
Maybe we could try to do one Wednesday or something. I don't know. Keep your eyes open. We may do a special.
Yes, it definitely won't be Wednesday, but we might do a special next week.
Or maybe we could tell the listeners now to send in some Turkey Day questions, and we could record it and release it on Thanksgiving.
There you go. Your choice.
I don't make emotional decisions, man. We'll figure it out later.
All right,
but we'll just put it out to the people, And one of three things is going to happen. We may answer your questions, record it, and put it out on Thanksgiving. We may do a live version answering your questions ahead of time, or whenever the hell we do that next show, we'll answer them then. We don't know which one. It's a crapshoot, ladies and gentlemen, and I am not committing to any of them.
I could do Tuesday or Friday. I can't do Wednesday, but I could do Tuesday or Friday night. All right.
Yeah. I don't know if I can do Friday or not. I'm not sure when we're coming back yet.
Well, thank you, Glenn. If I don't talk to you, have a very, very, very happy Thanksgiving, and be grateful every day.
Okay, I will try. And happy Thanksgiving to you, too, and to all those people out there. Be thankful for something. There's plenty to be thankful for.
Absolutely.
So, peace out, Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts.
I hated that. Why did we do that?